Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. In this video, I'm going to show you the new features that has been added to FieldFox recently. It's called Constellations Measurements, and it's added into the OTA, over-the-air measurements on the FieldFox. So first of all, we're going to show you how to get the new firmware. Just type in Keysight FieldFox firmware and search for it, and I have the link here. So FieldFox series firmware updates. Let's click on that, Keysight. Then from there, I'll look for the firmware download page. This is not updated yet. The latest is 12.52, and of course you can check what are the changes over the firmware version. Let's click on that firmware download page. So let's enlarge this a bit. And from here you can see that the latest firmware is 12.52. It was released a week and a half ago at least. And let's see what has been added here. So let's click on the documentations from a release. So there are two things that caught my attention. Is the EVM Constellation diagram. The other one is EMF manual mode. I'm going to cover the EMF manual mode on another video. So in this video, I'm going to check on this EVM constellations, and also I'll try LTSA marker beep later. And let's get on to it. So I've updated my FieldFox to the latest firmware, and if you want to know how to update the firmware, I have another video that I've done previously that you can check. This EVM constellation diagram only works with 5G NR EVM conducted tests. It's not useful out and about in the field because we need to repeat the same data to make out the constellations of the measurements. So it's built to test in a lab environment where you have a constant repetitive data from 5G signal, and from there you can measure the quality of your link. Like for example, if you want to check the amplifier that is being using, the antenna that you're using, to see the quality of signal that is being transmitted through this medium. So what we're going to do is to create a signal, 5G NR signal, using our EXG. So I got a surprise when I searched for this 5G NR signal generations in Keysight. Apparently they came out with a new software with a new interface. So how do I search for it? It's just type in Keysight pathway, 5G NR signal generator, and when I click this, it will come to this page. And this is where I download that software, and apparently I got lucky because it just released last week. I've installed it on my PC, and this is how it looks like. It's totally different from the normal signal generator that we have. 3 default applications inside, and in this video I'm going to cover just the 5G NR side of it. I'm going to have a quick walkthrough. Here we have a home button. I think by the time you add on all the tabs, you can come back to home with this interface. Then we have the file, the default file, new file, open file, save as file, or export waveform. And then we have the system where you try to connect hardware. And then these are just the icon with a new file, open file, save file. And then we have this setup, remote access to this software if you have this software installed in a central control PC, which I think is very useful when you do a remote control using skippy command. I won't cover that today as I'm still exploring it. So let's go to that, and this is a help file, and yeah, it's about, so this is a pathway SIGGEN desktop. Let's try 5G NR, and this is how it looks like. So this is what I'm saying. If you have multiple tabs here, when you click home, you just come back to this welcoming page. And let's go to 5G NR. I just want to create a 40 meg bandwidth FR1 signal to test out the FieldFox 5G NR conducted OTA measurements to show you the constellations options that has been just added. So I will go to, I won't change anything on the carrier except for this one. Let's just send it to FR1 40 meg. Yeah, you can choose up to 100 meg if you want to. If your FieldFox has the options that goes up to 100 meg of analysis bandwidth. I won't change anything here just to make it simple. Then we have a waveform. I won't change anything by default, but if you know what you're doing, go ahead and change it. Then this is a hardware part. So I connected an EXG to my PC, and the address is this. And from here, I'll try to click connect, and if it's happy with it, it will come up with the detailed information of the model, the serial number, and the firmware. I'll go with default because it's not a radiated test. I have a cable connected between the EXG and the FieldFox. So I'm putting at -10. Yeah, conducted. Let's try. Just to be safe, let's say 225. Okay. So I'm happy with that, and I'll just do generate and download. So what it does is generating the waveform and download it to the SIGGEN. So this is how the SIGGEN remote look like. So we have a 1 gig frequency carrier with amplitude at -25, and let's see whether it's on. Yes, it's on. And let's see what mode it's in. It's dual up, and it's using this untitled. It's a waveform that created by the signal generator that we seen here. So I connected my FieldFox remotely, and I adjusted the power so that it won't hit the ADC overload on the FieldFox, just to protect the FieldFox receiver. And as you can see, at 1 gigahertz as we set here, so this is not updated. I manually changed the value on the SIGGEN. So this is a power level that's been adjusted. Comfortable with that power level, let's go to mode. Let's change the mode to over the air measurements, and this is 5G NR. Just to make sure that we are able to see something here. Let's go to frequency and change 1 gig, and yes, we have a value over here. RSSI is -57. Yeah, still alright. And let's go now to 5G NR EVM Conducted. This is where the Constellation's options seated. So let's just wait for a while for the measurements to go through. So finally, we got the reading over here, and this is a signal from our generator, and this is how we're going to see the constellations. Let's go to trace. So display time instead of table, let's go to constellation. Just go down, and going to run another round of measurements. There we go. So this is how the constellation will look like, and depends on your setup, the signal that you generated. This is how you get the constellation to work on FieldFox over the air measurements on 5G signal. Right, that's it for today for this video. Thanks for watching.